Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor to Tenkar's Tavern blog. Listen, I've been listening to you. I know you want me to cover Kickstarters. I know you want me to cover reviews. 2025. It's the year of the tavern, right? I don't know where it is on the Chinese calendar, but I'm saying it's the year of the tavern. By the way, if you want to support the tavern, Tenkars, there's tavern.games/humble for Humble Bundle. Tenkars, there's tavern.games/DTRPG for Drive-Thru RPG. Both of those are affiliate links. So what do we have on our plate today? Decks of Curses by Angry Dwarf Games. The deck, or decks, or the decks or curses? I thought they were decks of curses. All right. Well, in any case, we have curated a GM's dream and every player's nightmare. By the way, I was a history major. I learned very early on that my instructors were going to red pen me, and I didn't want to be red penned, but I'm going to red pen. Just saying. Players, every player's nightmare. That's possessive, right? It should be an apostrophe. Just saying when it's in your pitch, probably not good. Nightmare of cards to add life to your gaming tables. Goal of $5,000, $570 raised. Story. Since 1979, when Gary Gygax and TSR produced the Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeon Master's Guide. Sorry, red pen's coming out. When Gary Gygax and TSR produced the Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeon Master's Guide. Guide should be capitalized. That phrasing is just whatever. DMs were given just 8 printed curses to use with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Angry Dwarf Games has carefully curated a list of curses to be used within your games. These cards include diseases, phobias, unique deaths, and a few surprises for your players. I've never been huge on curses. I'm sure some DMs are. Maybe this is up your alley. It's probably not up mine. I've probably used a half dozen curses in 40 plus years of gaming in my various campaigns. Don't use them, generally speaking, at convention play. Players screw themselves enough. They don't need me to screw them over. Your players will, from now on, think about every move they make in your campaign, from opening a tomb to picking up treasure. These cards, not a bad pitch, these cards will add a new flavor to your table. Imagine the scenarios that will occur at your table. Again, no red pen, just awkward grammar. Scenario: player picks up a cursed item and a curse is laid upon them. The player doesn't know until I know vernacular, but it's until, not till, the first battle they are in. Period. During the battle, an enemy slashes the player and the curse is revealed. The revealed is not comma, it's probably a semicolon, maybe even a colon. The player has hemophilia, and that minor cut that caused X amount of damage now is continuously bleeding. Well, that's a pretty damn big curse. The minor cut is now something major because the player continually loses hit points during the battle. Problem. The player does not have hemophilia, and the player is not losing hit points during the battle. The player character is. And there is part of the issue here. And listen, if you're running a Kickstarter, if you're putting your hand out for money, you can't self-edit. I don't know if Victor Dorso, Angry Dwarf, self-edited, but this is, in my opinion, a self-editing issue. The player is not the one suffering from hemophilia. The player is not the one bleeding out at the table. It's their player character. It is their fictional persona. At the end of the battle, the player survives. No, the player character survives. But are they cured? Most groups may think poison or some other factor, but what really needs to happen is a remove curse needs to be said, no, cast, or if you want, or cure disease, or both for that matter. Okay. The GM has complete discretion with these system agnostic cards. Or scenario. Player that days picks up some Player that days picks up some jewelry off the floor and tucks it in their stash. By the way, I'm not saying that we have a victim of Lower Lanasian, but there is something going on here. In their stash, comma, so that means you are not followed by a capital, but there's a capital. Again, my red pen is out, and I do apologize, but I can't be helped. Unknown to them, they have been cursed, and unknown should not be capitalized. And again, when you're putting money out on when you are putting your hand out, Kickstarter is essentially, all right, panhandling for creators. Okay, and I don't mean that poorly. Listen, I support. I am a super backer on Kickstarter, but if you're going to ask for money, you should present yourself in the best possible manner. This is not that. Nothing personal. And by the way, I do have personal issues with Vic. This isn't that. This is professional. They wake up in the morning hairless. They have been afflicted with hypertrichosis. Okay, hey, listen, legitimate. I'm not going to look it up. Take his word for it. Or, third scenario. They wake up the next day bankrupt, comma, capital everything. All right, so two red pens here, one word. Every can't be capitalized if you're following the comma. And everything is one word. Again, please, folks, this is a lesson for anybody out there. Don't self-edit. There are professional editors out there. There are semi-professional editors out there. There are folks in the community that will probably do this for free just for an editing credit. Please, make some connections. Reach out to them. Everything of value on their person has disappeared. Magic, gone, comma, gold piece tucked in their boot. Dash, gone. Their treasury, gone. By the way, I'll forgive you capitalizing gold piece in this case, but their treasury with a T and their capitalized, you're getting red penned. I got red penned an awful lot back in college. My college days, by the way, are behind me by about 30 years. Player has gone from absurd wealth to pauper overnight. The cards are being made with the same materials put into your standard poker deck. That's awesome. You know, you want that. I don't want those shitty dollar store, $1.25, Dollar Tree poker cards that you breathe on them, they fall apart. No, you want a standard poker deck. These cards will last a lifetime in your collection. Okay, so this is an example of a card. Fumble fingers. The player's fine motor skills. Again, red pen comes out. The player's. Two problems with that. It's not the player, right? It's the player character. And if it's possessive, there has to be an apostrophe. So it should be the player characters with an apostrophe between the R and the S. Fine motor skills, to their fingers is severely hampered. Period, not comma. They cannot hold small objects or unlock anything. Folks, I am not a professional editor. I am not an amateur editor. I am not offering editing skills. I am just asking you, begging you, if you're doing a Kickstarter, please. Each deck will contain 50 cards, and with a complete set of over 200 cards in 4 different decks at your table, the players will be very wary of everything they do. I I view curses personally as a GM as spice. Little bit goes a long way. Don't know if I need 200 curses. Probably don't need 50. Like again, I probably used them maybe a half dozen times in 40 plus years of GMing. The cards are each numbered, so you may determine later if one card magically disappeared or was misplaced. I have no idea what that means. Risk and challenges. Obviously, funding is a serious concern with most projects, but we have already pre-sold a few dozen decks of cards. Now we just need to make a full print run of 40 decks of cards. Okay. Interesting enough. Standard poker deck of cards. These will be printed on the same material and will last a very long time. They are reusable. Fair enough. Now, okay. Let's check the rewards area. Rewards. $10,000 reward. I'm very confused. I thought usually you got stretch goals, right? And funding is at 5,000. But if you guess if I don't know how this works, but there is a $10,000 reward free table compass. I guess all right. One item is included. $10,000 reward is a table compass designed in-house for your gaming table. Your players will automatically know which direction they are going and from what vector the attacks are coming from. Useful if you've been in Joe Lawyer's game. Sometimes south is up on the top of the screen on the VTT. Confuses the hell out of us. So yeah, this would be awesome. All 4 decks. There's 4 decks in this. Okay. Of curses and bonus box to store them in for $30. What is this bonus box composed of? I don't know. But 25,000 deck of many encounters. By the way, there are 0 backers going for the $10,000 reward. There are 15 backers going for the $25,000 reward. Get the system agnostic deck of encounters and let your players each choose a possible encounter for your table to explore. 52 cards in a poker quality deck that will last a very long time. Last a very long time. I bet. All encounters are flexible enough that a GM can change them instantly. All right, so what is the difference between... there's the free... I'm confused. In any case, the free table compass is only 100 available. 0 have been claimed. You got some optional add-ons of cutthroats and thieves. The table compass is an extra $10 if you want it. Okay. So, listen, folks, I'm going to include a link to this project. I'll flat out say not for me, but that's because I don't really use curses much in my games. But if I did use curses in my games, it would need some editing. Now, obviously, this hasn't been completed yet. So Angry Dwarf Games could go through and edit this stuff. And that would be great. But you should. A little free advice for anybody who's thinking about doing a Kickstarter. Your Kickstarter... your presentation page, right? When you put stuff up on this page, this is your pitch. You want to make your best pitch possible. You don't want to drop the ball. You don't want to play 52 pickup with your deck of cards. You've got to be as near to perfect as you can be with your pitch, or else people are going to second guess you. I am in that second guess category, honestly. But 200 cards for $30 probably isn't a bad deal. If they can come forward with even free editing at this rate, somebody working just for editor's credit on the project is better than what we're looking at right now. Is it salvageable? Probably. But there's an editing that certainly needs to be done, at least from what we've seen on this page. So, folks, real quick, later on tonight, 8 p.m. Gamers Health. There will be a live stream with myself and my wife, Rach. We look forward to seeing you there on the live stream. They've been pretty good the last couple of times. Good turnout. What the topic's going to be? Well, we're driving upstate tomorrow to visit our niece. We'll probably figure it out then. Other than that, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I'll be back again tonight with a live stream. See you then.